So, a lot of people look at the numbers of debt and so on and so forth. Let's just talk about something really simple, like a university. There's a foundation over there, beautiful campus, landscaped gardens everywhere, absolute paradise if you can afford the tuition to come in. When I was going here, it seemed astronomical to me, but we're not going to focus on the numbers. So, they don't pay taxes. And everything in America is really designed so that you can try to evade taxes if possible, if you have the right connections. But when you think about universities in other countries, they're poor. I've seen universities in India where people just kind of sit on a dirt floor. And somehow these kids, when they get older, outperform the kind of kids that go to campus over here. And the reason you're supposed to have a tax exemption is because you don't want to worry about paying the government when you're not making that much money to begin with. So you don't want to hire all the fancy accountants and so on and so forth. If you have a lot of money, when you hire the accountant to effectively not pay taxes, you're going to engage in, number one, political lobbying, and number two, some sort of sophisticated tax exemptions. And you can argue that this is sort of the cradle of civilization, that universities were going to be a bastion, a bulwark against some other form of overreaching government. So they don't want to worry about that. They give professors tenure. That's all fine. But think about this for a second. You're dealing with the richest people in society, effectively not paying taxes and on their property. And this is actually a religious entity. It's a Catholic school. So you can easily sort of figure out what's happening in America. You can look at the debt, you can look at all these other things, the politicians, and people complain Donald Trump doesn't pay taxes. People complain corporations don't pay taxes. But what I'm trying to explain is that everybody, for the most part, who's been successful in America financially, has figured out a loophole to avoid paying taxes. And the fundamental problem with America is that, and therefore the political system, is you can't find honest work these days. The little guy who just wants to file his taxes online, make an honest living, that is the guy dealing on his own or her own with an extremely complex system that's not designed to help him or her or his family. So that's where you get a backlash for family values, simplicity, and so on and so forth. And here I am contributing to the system. That's the other part people don't get. I actually, if I want to play basketball safely, this is the only place I can go. So one of the things that makes it hard to regulate these kinds of institutions, whether it's a corporation, I used to play basketball at Cisco, that was open because I knew somebody there. Again, it depends on if you know somebody there. And I can only come here because I went to school here. So you have to remember, it's a limited pool. But I'm contributing to this. But it's because they've used that tax exemption, here's the gym, in order to create a system that is, for all intents and purposes, superior privately than what the government has to offer. The government, of course, survives by paying taxes or getting taxes, but it hasn't figured out how to get those taxes recently, so it just uses debt, just like a corporation. So that blurs the line between public service and private profit, and here we are.